Welcome to this edition of Momentum TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Robert Green from the Bagley College of Engineering. And I'm very happy today to welcome our guest, the Dean of the Bagley College, Dr. Jason Keith. Dean Keith, welcome. Glad you're here.
It's great to be here.
Thank you.
Green.
We've been trying to get you on for a while. I'm glad your schedule finally allowed for it to happen. So, of course, you're the Dean of the college. You're also an engineer. At what point in your life did you decide you wanted to be an engineer? What attracted you to that discipline?
I think it started when I was in high school, and I really liked the math courses and the science courses that I took, and I'd spend more time working on homework problems and studying for those, and really had a passion for that stuff. My favorite course as a high school student was my advanced chemistry class taught by Dr. Kirschbaum, and in that class, he made it fun because he would tell jokes and try to relate the problems that we were solving to kind of real world. We did labs, blew some stuff up, just had a good time. And I remember bringing my mom to the parent-student night or whatever and introduced her to the teacher, and she said, he's thinking about studying chemical engineering, and he said, he'll have no problem. Now that was an exaggeration possibly, but it helped me make a decision at that time that I wanted to go into engineering.
Okay, and it sounds like you knew fairly early on that you wanted to do chemical engineering. We do have a lot of students who will come to the college, and like you, they like math and science, so they think they want to do engineering. They've been told they want to do engineering, but they can't decide what specific discipline. What advice would you give to those who sort of know they want to do engineering but aren't sure exactly which field?
Well, there's so much information that's available these days that it's a lot easier to figure out some of that now than it was in the past. We have videos that sort of show what each discipline is about on the College of Engineering webpage. You can Google whatever you want and try to find information. The best way is to talk to people that you know in your community that have engineering jobs and ask them what kind of engineering that they're involved in and learn about their experiences. About half of our students end up changing majors at least one time while they're students at Mississippi State, and so when I meet with prospective students that aren't sure, I encourage them to try one, and then early on, within a year or so, it's really easy because of the way our curriculum are set up to be able to make that switch very seamlessly.
Yeah, I agree, and I think starting in engineering also gives them a leg up if they choose to leave engineering. They're still got a head start on some other majors. So before you came to us, you were a professor at Michigan Tech, and we were fortunate enough to have you come down here and first become director of the Swalm School of Chemical Engineering. What is it that attracted you to leave Michigan and come to Mississippi State for that position?
There are a lot of things that attracted me about Mississippi State University. First of all, the Chemical Engineering School is the Dave C. Swalm School of Chemical Engineering. It had a very sizable endowment and a relatively new facility to teach and do world-class research within. Secondly, I really like college athletics, and so the opportunity to move to a place that had a really competitive college athletics program was appealing to me. I don't like big cities, and Starkville is a nice college town. It's got good weather, and so for all of those reasons, it really helped sell the College of Engineering at Mississippi State for something for me to consider. Also, the fact that it's a land-grant university was something that really was appealing to me because of the tradition that they have in the core areas of agriculture and engineering, which is key to the economic development of our state, our region, and our nation.
Well, and you've certainly been here for part of some of the best years of our athletic program, with the football team being #1 a few years ago and our baseball team. Can we credit you with that success on the athletic field?
Absolutely not, but if you ever invent a Trivial Pursuit card and says, who was the Dean of Engineering when the very first college football playoff poll came out, the #1 team was Mississippi State, and I would be the dean on that card. So there you go.
There you go. So at Michigan Tech, of course, you did win a lot of teaching awards. Were very well liked by students and seemed to enjoy it. Coming down here, it's mainly been administration, first as director, now as dean. Do you miss teaching students?
I do.
What is it you miss most about that?
So when I came here, I was very passionate about teaching, as you noted, and I had developed my own courses at Michigan Tech. I was able to teach some of those here at Mississippi State, but in my role as the director of the School of Chemical Engineering, I wanted to make sure I got to meet every single student in our program. And so I taught the senior level controls class and then the first year graduate applied math course within the chemical engineering program. So I got to see pretty much everyone during their time at the department. And what I liked the most was being able to interact with students before class started and having them come to office hours. There were some students that, one, I was ready to give them a minor in Jason Keith because they came so many times to my office. And they didn't get an A in the class, but they certainly earned the B that they obtained because you could see the growth in terms of how the light bulb was coming on. With each time they came, they understood a little bit more. So I really enjoyed mentoring students like that to really make a difference in their lives.
I think seeing that light bulb come on is probably one of the biggest attractions to teaching. So Mississippi State's very active in the field area of research. In fact, out of the 8 institutions of higher learning in the state, Mississippi State's doing more than the other 7 combined. And of course, engineering is carrying a large load of that at Mississippi State as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what that level of research activity means both to the college, to the university, and perhaps more importantly, to the citizens of the state?
Right, well, first of all, as a land-grant university, our mission is to, again, promote the economic development of our state. And one way that we do that is through externally funded research projects. At Mississippi State, as a land-grant university, we're able to have a very diverse portfolio in terms of the types of research that we do. There's some of our peer institutions that may do things that are very theoretical. There's other institutions that do things that are very applied. We cover that whole spectrum. And we want to take ideas that someone may have and work towards bringing those into the marketplace and helping invent processes or products or technologies that will improve human life. That's really what engineering is all about. Our college averages between $60 and $70 million of external research each year, which places us among like the top 60 to 65 colleges of engineering in the country. Having a strong research program attracts outstanding faculty as well as outstanding undergraduate and graduate students into the college. Overall, Mississippi State had a record with over $300 million of externally funded research this past year.
And it's certainly important, I think, for all of us, and is doing what? Doing a lot for the nation and state as well. There's been some talk in the news lately, particularly with the economy being in the state it is now, that college education is expensive and it may not be worth the money to go get a 4-year degree. And we certainly have plenty of opportunity for people to get good 2-year degrees in this state. Do you agree with that assessment, specifically for engineering? Do you think it's still worth coming to get a 4-year degree in engineering?
Absolutely it is. First of all, if you look at Mississippi State University as a whole, we have one of the best returns on investment from a student standpoint. Our tuition is relatively low and we offer a lot of value to our students. When they graduate, they're able to get great jobs in industries all over the state and all over the region inside of our country. Specific to engineering, our starting salaries are tending towards $65,000 to $70,000 for all of our majors combined, but for specific areas like oil and gas or commodity chemicals, pulp and paper, those can be even higher. And so the investment that a family or students make in their engineering education pays off almost instantly. Furthermore, we have great partnerships with companies that will hire students for co-ops or internships. They get practical on-the-job experience through those, they're able to see the connection between what they're learning in the classroom and what they're able to do to really make a difference in industry. The average student on a co-op makes between $20 and $25 an hour, and so they can earn a lot over the course of a semester where they're doing that to help defray some of the costs that they're paying in terms of tuition. Furthermore, the university and the college offer great scholarship programs, which helps alleviate some of that as well.
Yeah, so co-op sounds like a really good opportunity for some of our students to look at.
We try to encourage all of our students to get engaged with some type of experiential learning while they're on campus, whether it be co-op, internship, student competition teams, research, or anything else that they're interested in, such as developing something through the e-center that they might want to bring to market at some point.
Well, looking in your crystal ball, do you see or think of any particular areas in engineering that might be big growth areas in the future?
Well, one of the biggest areas of growth right now is in technologies related to computer science. The Department of Computer Science and Engineering is housed within the Bagley College of Engineering, and we're very fortunate to be able to have them as part of our college. We offer a computer science, a software engineering, and a cybersecurity degree, and there's high demand for all three of those programs. In fact, in speaking with the department head, he always tells me that there's 4 jobs per graduate. The hardest part that we have is try to keep students here before they go and take a job in industry.
Well, you came here as director of the Swam School of Engineering. You're now dean of the Bagley College, and you also hold the Davenport chair. So the Swams, the Davenports, and the Bagleys have certainly been very generous with their money to the College of Engineering. But they're not the only ones. Our alumni have been as well. Real quickly, can you tell us, what does it mean for our alumni to give back to the university? How important is that?
It's very impactful, and the level of philanthropy that exists at Mississippi State University is part of the package that attracted me to move and establish a career here. If you look at sort of where the funding comes in from either alumni or from corporate support, a big part is student support. And I mentioned earlier that we have outstanding scholarship programs. We have the largest privately funded scholarship program across the entire university. So that's one area that really makes a difference. Faculty support, infrastructure, and just having money to spend on student travel or other things as needed really helps us make a difference beyond what the state gives us in terms of the appropriations, plus what we receive in tuition at the institution and what we bring in research. It's really the development side that really sets us apart and allows us to do great things.
And we're certainly appreciative of our alumni for all they do. Dean Keith, I want to thank you for taking your time to come be with us today. I want to thank all of you for joining us today on Momentum TV. I hope you can join us for our next edition.